point.
Yeah, it's crazy. We couldn't have got much closer, but just didn't go our way. But yeah, we're going to be out here watching these Pro 2s run and have some fun with these guys.
Well, let's, like you said, let's have a little bit of fun as I'm kind of waiting for my screen to pop up. And let's go. Let's meet our drivers now coming out in Pro 2 on the front row inside the 78 of Ricky Gutierrez. Outside of him, Dave Mason Jr. Row 2 inside Mason McCarthy. Outside of him, Dennis McCarthy and Eric Jacobus will round out the field. Now talk real quick about what a Pro 2 is.
Pro 2 is a spec-built full-size truck chassis on frame rails. Most of the guys run a new 410 cubic inch engine package with spec heads. There are a couple open engines. I think Dave Mason's still running an open engine with restrictor plate. So a couple different engine packages, but for the most part, the truck is built same geometry, frame rails, measurements, all that's to spec. So it's pretty level playing field for all these drivers.
So when it comes to setting up your truck, it's basically tires, pressure, grooving, shocks, and that's just about
the big thing's gear ratio.
Okay.
Change gear ratio. These things run an underdrive, so you have quick change gear sets.
I was going to ask you about torque converters.
Yep, torque converters and gear change and tire groove is the big magic combination here.
Well, here we got our two guys on the front row. They both were very, very quick at practice. The two fastest trucks in practice. And at the last minute, Ricky Gutierrez popped off the fastest lap in practice this morning. And Dave Mason not too far behind. In fact, I want everybody to know that hopefully if it works, sometime during the competition yellow, I'm going to get Dave Mason Jr. on the radio and give him a couple of questions live from his truck. So green flag is out. We're underway.
Got Ricky G out into a good start. Oh, definitely some trouble there, second, third place.
Yeah, McCarthy having a little bit of issues there. But I hate to say it, at this point, it's a fairly long race, so no point in going out there burning tires and just heating everything up.
Yeah, you definitely got to save your equipment, that's for sure. These Pro 2 trucks tear up a lot of equipment, though. Got to take care of that, especially the first half, so you can be there at the end, have a good run. So far, as I say, everybody's being clean. Second, fourth place, Jacobus and McCarthy, kind of getting into it there.
So I just happen to have the radio on with Dave Mason's team, and they were talking about how much the sun was going to be an issue out on the track, and they didn't do a lot of track prep. They did some in turn one, threw a little bit of water in the backstretch, but other than that, I don't see a whole lot of track prep that took place. And man, I don't know how Charlie Shilby's doing it, but I'm sure he's trying to temper the enthusiasm of Ricky G at the moment, because he is flying out there right now.
Yeah, some of the guys second, third, fourth back kind of running their race has kind of slowed them down, and Ricky's is kind of running his out front and being clean. That's a big thing. You spend too much time trying to make moves on the guys. Try to get to the lead, actually slows yourself down, so the quicker you can get by, the better. But yeah, Ricky's just doing his thing, running a smooth race. As is Dave. He got separated from third and fourth there and trying to gain some speed and momentum back up to catch back up to Ricky.
You kind of know how Masons are. They're thinkers. Not that Gutierrez isn't, but Masons are thinkers. He goes, why burn it up in the first half?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be all about the second half. And the gap that they had in time in qualifying wasn't that big, so that might not be a bad idea to do exactly what Mason is doing right now.
Yeah, get back bunched up for the yellow and throw everything you got the second half now that you're going to be on his bumper.
Now, can your truck change that much from first half to second half?
Definitely the track condition doesn't help. So if you make a gear change and the track's heavy or fluff, or even if they water it, it's obviously going to dry out or slick out or get really rough towards the end. So you kind of have to adjust like your gearing for the first and second half. What's it going to be quicker as versus in the first or second part of the race, and tire groove for sure. If they put a lot of water down, you don't want to cut so much in your tire because then it'll just pack up. But then if that blows off, then it's just ever changing. There's so much to think about when you're out there and making setup decisions. But usually everybody's in the same boat. So if you make a decision for first or second half, the person you're racing against is doing the same thing. So either their truck's hooked up the first half or the second half of the race, and yours is vice versa. So you're just kind of battling the track, I think, is the biggest part.
And right now I'm watching lap times, and Ricky's getting faster. See, 52.3. Nope, he slowed down in that last one by 5/1000 of a second. And actually, Mason got faster, but he's still almost 0.8 back.
That's a fair amount. I think it's just being smooth, and they both have no pressure on them. So I guess it's just whoever's running the smoothest line, so whoever's got the better truck set up right now.
To be 9 laps remaining. I think right around lap 7 is when the comp yellow will come out. So there'll be 9 laps remaining this time by for our leader, Ricky Gutierrez. And he's a young kid too, so how do you like put a bridle on a stallion? I mean, they're just so, well, you're one yourself, but not quite that young. Was he 17?
I think he's 18 or so. I'm not too sure. My bad, Ricky, if I don't know your age. But I'm 24, so I'm still young, but I'm not as young as these kids coming back up, and I'm still trying to hold my own. And they're always fast, like you said. We're just all wild. We got that young. We got the adrenaline rush, and we just go for it. So,
he spent the summer in the Midwest as well.
I raced against Ricky all year, and I think he actually had more podiums than me. I think he had 3 podiums. I only got on the podium twice, so he's definitely a force to be reckoned with as well. And Dave was out racing Crandon too, and did fairly good out there as well. So these 2 guys are definitely fast.
Did you go fishing with him?
I did not. I did not go fishing.
There's the comp yellow at lap 7. So we're going to group everybody back together and get them bumper to bumper. And let's see if we can get a word in with Dave Mason Jr. I think we got to get an idea of what's going on here with this second half of the race.
Because it'll carry out to the cushion, but right now your rotation.
Steve, they're going to talk to him.
Hey Dave, this is Scott Rain up in the tower. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I copy.
Well, it sounds like, or looks like we've got a little strategy going on right now in that first half. Is that true? As you get ready to come back to green?
Oh yeah, the track's a bit tricky. It was muddy at first, so I'm just trying to keep it clean and hit my marks and kind of learn a few things here for Ricky, and then try and use it against him towards the end.
Well, I'll let you get your game face back on. You got 1 turn before green flag. Thanks for the time, and best of luck in the second half.
Yes, sir. Thank you to eBay Motors. Let's do this.
Well, how about that? In fact, the last thing I heard before I got off the radio with Dave Mason Jr. is the fact, okay, guys, let her rip. And it's going to be a whole new ballgame from what it sounds like for the second half.
Yeah, look for Dave to put some pressure on Ricky here early off the start now that they're bunched back up together.
Ought to be very interesting to see, because the lap times were telling us that Dave was kind of holding up a little bit. But if we go back to practice and qualifying, Gutierrez was quicker. So we're going to see. And I would love to hear what Charlie Schlevy's saying to Ricky right now as well. Charlie being a very experienced, geez, probably 30-plus years of being a crew chief or involved in off-road.
Yeah, you can see just they're running a little bit of different lines here, but nobody's really got the clear advantage. Dave's just trying to probably find something right now to gain some more spots back up on Ricky. But they're both running really smooth races, not making any mistakes.
Just waiting to see. There'll be 3 laps remaining this time by. Is Ricky that fast right now? And is Dave Mason waiting till the very last second and basically utilizing one shot to get at him? Because we talk about this quite often, that this isn't a drag race kind of thing where you just drag race up on the guy and pass him. You have to plan that pass 2, 3, 4 corners before you get to him.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but I don't see it happening right now.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be one of those races comes down to a mistake, but I don't really think that's going to happen. It doesn't look like it. They're both running their pace and doing a good job at it. They're not doing anything, making any mistakes, doing anything wrong. So it's just going to be one of those things. Have to come down to a mistake, maybe.
Yeah, they're really cheering him on right now. His crew, his spotters are really getting behind Dave, trying to get him pumped up for the final 2 laps. There's going to be 2 laps remaining this time by, but I'm just not quite seeing it. Dave's going with a huge push into the corners, and it's not exactly, you don't want to see over-rotation, but you don't want to see a huge push almost halfway through the turn.
Yeah, no, these, you can tell these 2 trucks are set up a little differently. Ricky's tends to stick more flat through the corners. Mason's kind of loads up on one side, like it's leaning over a little bit. But, you know, they both seem to work. I've driven both like that. My current one's more like Ricky. My old truck used to be kind of like Mason's setup. But, you know, they both have their advantages. And, you know, it just looks like Ricky's just out front running away at this moment.
Yeah, he's getting faster, but still not as fast as Ricky. As the last lap, Ricky ran a 52 flat, and Dave Mason ran a 52.6, and that happens to be Dave's fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, it's about a second off lap time right there, so that'd be a tough one to catch with 2 laps to go.
White flag, yep, white flag is coming out. The drone is chasing our leader. Mason has 1 straightaway remaining to track down Ricky Gutierrez, our young gun, and that white and orange truck. And Mason is just on the ragged edge, right at the outside line, all the way around. But I just, man. Again, Dave Mason ran his fastest lap of the race last time by, but still not as fast as a lap as Ricky Gutierrez.
Yeah, both these guys just went out here and ran the best they could. And Ricky's was just a little bit faster, it seems like. And, you know, both, like I said, they were both flawless today, not making any mistakes. But, you know, truck setup, track condition, all's a factor. So looks like Ricky's going to take the checker here. Yep,
checker flag is out. The win will go to Ricky Gutierrez, our current points leader. Coming across the line is second, Dave Mason Jr. And we'll see how that might change. Whoa, man, still action going on.
There we go.
Third will go to Dennis McCarthy, and coming across the line will be the 22 of Mason McCarthy, having made the pass for position halfway through that last lap. Well, in just a moment, we're going to have Dave Arnold down trackside at the podium to talk to our top 3 finishers in Pro 2. I want to thank you once again, Mr. Winter, for coming up here and joining us, and I want to congratulate you on your season in the Midwest, and can't wait to see you and your career grow in short course off-road racing. Thanks a lot for coming up here, man.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It was a lot of fun. Don't get to do this much often, so hopefully we can do it again soon.
So once again, we're going to step aside for the last time here tonight as Dave Arnold is making his way down to the podium. Talk to our top 3 finishers in Pro 2. We'll be right back after this from a few words for our sponsors, for all our fans back at home watching us on the live stream.
Palms is a 5-star lifestyle community where you'll make lifelong friends. I mean, some of my favorite things to do are obviously building memories with the family. We get out in the side-by-sides. Of course, I like riding my dirt bike in the hills and taking off in the desert. But I mean, family time in the boat, man, you can't beat it.
quality work that comes with safety on our job sites. The teamwork that makes it happen from employees that are guided by integrity. And making a commitment that we are proud of at Stronghold Engineering. Our values have been instrumental in our success and ability to build or facilitate anything imagined. Stronghold Engineering, building construction excellence since 19...
UTV 96 inside this car here for the race.
We use the UTV 96 in this car. I'm using the VP UTV 90 fuel. Thank you VP Racing Fuels for keeping me powered and getting me on top of the...
All right, here we go. I got get Dennis McCarthy up here, and man, he was sitting there in the catbird seat watching all photo. He had a great race too. I think that was everybody was watching back in third because these two were already gone. You guys were battling. Dennis McCarthy, I'm going to start you off with a Canon gift card there to help you breathe a little bit better in your vehicle. But talk about this race out there. It's great to see you back out here.
You know, it was great, man. I was it was kind of last minute. You know, we were just going to bring one truck out. My kid was going to drive, and then he got a little, well, I don't know. So I said, oh, I'm going to drive it. So then he changed his mind, so we brought the old truck out of retirement for him. So he was at a disadvantage there, but it was great, and it was